Something inside her shifted. I couldn't pinpoint exactly what, but I felt it deep in my gut. The woman I had married was slipping away, and the person I thought I loved was slowly turning into a stranger. It started subtly, late nights at work, distant conversations, and then the texts. Texts that clearly weren't meant for me. Do you trust your instincts, or do you shove the uneasy thoughts to the back of your mind? For months, I pushed the doubts aside, convincing myself it was nothing. But as I watched her drift further, I realized I couldn't ignore it anymore. I needed the truth, no matter the cost. So, I did what any desperate husband might. I hired a private investigator. Before we get deeper into this shocking story, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join me for more gripping, real-life tales that will keep you on edge. It wasn't the first time I had noticed a change. When Sarah got her new job, it seemed like a dream come true. She was ambitious, proud, and excited about her promotion. But slowly, everything shifted. She wasn't the same person I had married. Conversations that had once been full of laughter and connection now felt strained and distant. I didn't want to be a paranoid husband, so I tried to ignore the nagging feeling in my mind. But the late nights grew longer, and her attention to her phone grew more obsessive. She started attending work events more frequently, and I couldn't help but wonder what was happening behind closed doors. One night, I came home early, hoping to surprise her, but what I saw was nothing like what I imagined. I had walked in on her with her phone before, but this time felt different. She was texting someone, and the smile on her face as she typed hit me like a warning. It wasn't a look she gave me. It was intimate, secretive. My heart sank. There was no reason for her to smile at her phone. That way, unless something was happening that I didn't know. I asked her about it, but she brushed me off with a casual excuse. Something about a colleague needing advice. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The next few days were a haze of suspicion. Lying awake at night, questioning whether I was imagining it or if there was more going on. Then I noticed something. A name I didn't recognize on her contacts. Alex. At first, I tried to ignore it, but the signs kept piling up. Late nights, weekends dedicated to some project. It was becoming impossible to dismiss. I made a decision. I needed answers. I couldn't keep living in uncertainty. So, I hired a private investigator, a man named Mark, quiet and methodical. He followed her, took notes, and pieced together the truth. I was anxious, terrified of what I might discover, but I knew I needed the truth to free myself from this torment. When Mark returned with the evidence, my fears were confirmed. Sarah was meeting Alex more often than she was coming home to me. Their encounters, casual at first, escalated. They laughed, touched, and interacted in ways that went far beyond friendship. It all made sense now. Sarah wasn't just working late. She was seeing Alex after hours, going out to dinner, spending long conversations with him behind my back. And the worst part, I had seen the warning signs before, but ignored them. The distance, the secrecy, the late nights, they all pointed to the truth, and I had been blind. The pain hit me like a freight train. Every memory, every shared moment, every ounce of trust felt like a lie. I confronted Sarah with the evidence. She tried to deny it first, but when I presented the texts, photos, and schedules, she couldn't escape the truth. Her face paled, her eyes filled with regret. And for the first time, I saw fear. She admitted everything. Alex was a colleague, and their friendship had grown into something more. She was torn between her career ambitions and the love she once had for me. And then she said the words that shattered me. I don't know if I can choose you anymore. I stood there, stunned. But something shifted inside me in that moment. I realized it was time to reclaim control over my life. This wasn't just about her betrayal. It was about my own healing and future. I stepped back and told her we needed space. I had to figure out who I was outside of our relationship. For the first time in months, I felt like I was thinking for myself. I packed a bag and moved out. I needed time to process everything. It wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Weeks passed. I focused on rebuilding myself. Therapy, reconnecting with friends, slowly piecing my life back together. Sarah's betrayal was painful, but it would not define me. She reached out, pleading for forgiveness, but I couldn't trust her the same way again. Eventually, I decided my future didn't include her. I let go, hard as it was, knowing it was the right choice. Betrayal leaves scars, but it doesn't have to define who we are. Sometimes the hardest part isn't discovering the truth. It's having the courage to walk away from what no longer serves you. If you've ever faced betrayal or felt trapped in a toxic situation, remember this. You have the power to take control of your story. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you and you want more, hit the subscribe button and join me for more real-life stories. Let's keep the conversation going. Share your experiences in the comments. Have you ever been betrayed like this? How did you cope? Until next time, stay strong and remember, you deserve better.